What's up, you guys? In today's video, I'm going to tell you the most common question I get is, Mike, how do you find deals? How do you find distressed buyers? Because I wrote the book, How to Find Motivated Sellers. People are always asking me, yeah, but how do I actually do it using software? I'm going to show you the easy way. Let's dive into it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Mighty REI. You're going to sign up under my link because I'm giving you this value. Okay. But I'm actually going to give you some crazy value. Okay. On the top left-hand side, we're going to put in our county. Okay. Because we want to dial in the specific area. But we're going to, and you see all the properties pop up. But actually, what we're going to do first, we're going to hit clear all. And the reason why you do that is because you want the map to zero in on your location, but not to have properties already selected. Then what I want you to do is go up here to filter, and I want you to go click on pre-foreclosures. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to give you pre-foreclosures everywhere potentially. But what we're going to do is we're going to click on the pin, which is also on the top left. And we're actually just going to highlight a little area. Let's see here. Dr. Phillips and Windermere. Let's look for the rich people who aren't making their mortgage payments, if they even have them, right? Dr. Phillips and Windermere. There you go, right there in the middle. You just hit enter. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a list of properties. There are 66 properties. I don't know if you can see that. There's 66 properties that are in pre-foreclosure. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to dial this in even more. Okay, we want to know who's in pre-foreclosure, but let's say owner occupied. They're actually at the home because you want to do driving for dollars. They better be there, right? So you do occupied, yes. Well, now there's only 50. You want to do occupied, owner occupied, and occupied is the same. Okay. So anyway, we'll do any property characteristics. Maybe we don't want to knock on condos. So let's go over here and go single family. Okay. Well, now there's only 43. Okay. Maybe we want to do single family, but we want to do at least 3 bedrooms. Okay. Still 43. Good. We want to see, we don't want anything on the market because we don't have to deal with a realtor maybe, right? On market? No. Still 43. Okay. Sometimes it'll take things off. Okay. Owner info, things where they live there. They're in pre-foreclosure, but they purchased the property in the last year, let's say, because we want somebody who's upside down in their mortgage so we can maybe catch them up on their mortgage and just take it over under their name. That's called subject to, right? Just for example. Okay. So you would click here and you go down to 22. Boom. Click on a date. And there you go. So anybody who's purchased a property since August 1st of last year, nobody. Okay. So we're going to take that off because there's nobody. But sometimes there will be people that have purchased in the last year who are already in pre-foreclosure. But oftentimes people who, let's go back actually, it really doesn't matter. I was just giving you an example. But you could go 2018, let's say, click on a date. And 2 people. So these people have not been in the property for very long, but you don't really care about last sale date. I don't know why I put that. But number of properties owned, let's say 2, maybe. I don't think there'll be any, but yeah, nobody. So we're going to make this, I'm going to take that away. Yeah. So you can reset to get that out of there, but let's actually just go super old. Let's go like way down here. Let's go 2000, since 2008. Right when the housing market crashed. Okay, we're back up to 13. Wow. So a lot of the people, right, there was 43. So that means there's 30 people who own their house since before 2008, and they're still holding it strong, but now they're behind on their payments. Interesting. So, but these 13 people live in the property, aren't making the mortgage payments, right? So you can come over here. What's kind of crazy about this? This is really, this is going to blow your mind. So people who have open mortgage remaining balance, monthly payments. Actually, I'm looking for equity. Let's click on equity. So if you go to equity, estimated equity is at least 50%. This is so crazy. 50%. So out of those 13, 9 of them. Wait, let me just make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Okay, yeah. Out of those 13, 9 of them have at least 50% equity, which is crazy. This house is worth $1.7 million and they're behind on their payments. And they don't, and here's the thing, you guys, they don't want to refinance because if they refinance at an 8% interest rate on a $1.7 million house, that's a lot of money just in fees, okay? So I'm curious. Let's see how far the rabbit hole goes. People who have 80% equity, probably nobody. Whoa, there's still 6. So isn't it crazy to think that these 6 people they only owe what is 20%, right? They only owe 20% of this, right? So these guys owe about 300,000, right? These guys owe about 400,000. So $400,000 is about what they owe, but they're behind on their payments, right? So they have so much equity. So these are opportunities for potential seller financing. If they were going to go into foreclosure, which they're probably not, because by the time foreclosure comes around, they're just gonna. Okay. So what you really want to do on a list like this, I'm just playing around because I love this stuff. I geek out on it. But let's say people don't have any more. The maximum amount of equity they have is 10%. Nobody. Let's try 20%. People who don't really have a lot of equity. So one person or two, yeah, one person has less than 20% equity. Right? So they only have about 200,000 in equity, or actually 300,000 in equity, somewhere around there. And this is the only person. So they owe the bank about $1 million. Okay, so the bank would foreclose on this. They don't have a lot of wiggle room to refinance. So this could be an opportunity. Okay. This is just one list, you guys. Pre-foreclosures. You could do auctions, you could do liens, people who have liens, you could do just focus on ones that are vacant. Like one of my favorite lists, let's go ahead and clear and go back out. One of my favorite lists actually is to do absentee owners. Okay. So this is crazy. Let's go back out. Let's go back in a little bit further. Properties that are near Disney, right? So let's go over here. Here's Celebration. Here's Lake Buena Vista. So let's do a little thing around Disney. So boom, 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 below Celebration. There we go, like that, right? That's a little fancy area. So that's the area. There are 10,000 properties in that area. And there's 164 in the MLS. There's 300. So that's another easy way to do it. Just highlight it and it'll tell you all the details there, right? There are 4,000 people who purchased in this area cash. I think that's so cool. 29 vacants, right? So now let's go into filters. I don't know what happened here. Let's go into filters around Disney. And let's look up homes that are vacant. Occupancy status is vacant. Owner occupied? No. Oh, obviously we did vacant, right? But now there's only 22 properties. Okay. We want to say not on the market. So there was only one on the market. I'm curious, what's that one on the market? The one on the market was Mulberry Park. Interesting. That's actually a pretty good little. Okay. But anyway, you look that up if you want to. But 21 properties. Let's keep going. What else do we want? We want to know. You could do failed status in there. You could do a lot of cool stuff. Things that were expired. You can look in there. Pre-foreclosure. Now we're not so much worried about that yet. What we're looking for is absentee owners, maybe potential short-term rentals. Okay. Ownership info, owner type, corporate. It's almost always going to be corporate. If it's individual, it's going to be easier to skip trace these folks. And you could definitely pull this list. You could even just leave it, right? You could do individual and corporate because those are going to be the ones you can find. So there's 20. So there was only one person that had a trust or something. Very smart investor, probably. Okay, absentee owner location. You could say local. You could say out of state. Let's see how many are out of state. Wow, there's 9. There's 9 out of state. So let's just click those. I'm curious. Okay, so 15. All right, now you could do valuation and you could figure out like how much equity do they have, right? You could definitely do that. We're not so much worried about that either, actually. And so anyway, that's a list of 15. Boom. Take this list, skip trace it. It's pretty easy to skip trace, guys. You just go boom. Now, this is a list of people that if you're doing short-term rental arbitrage or you're actually trying to purchase it yourself so you can do short-term rental, there's a lot of options here. Look at this. Look at these prices. I mean, actually, let's go back. I'm curious. Now I'm thinking, well, maybe they're townhomes. Let's do just homes for a second. See what it does. None. Yeah. Homes are so hard to find around Disney. Okay, let's do townhomes. Okay. I can't imagine there's multifamily for sale here. Let me see. Okay, so there's something for sale that's not a condo. It's not showing up. Anyway, so condo townhomes, there's 14 of them. And so you could go through here and figure out like, hey, would they potentially want to sell? And listen, they're not listed. So you got to figure out what their motivation is. So the simple question to ask, and I'll end it on this, is, hey, I'm looking at your property over at 13102 Mulberry Park. And guys, if you don't have Propstream, check this out. It tells you all the details. You can look at the tax information, right? It says her name right there, and it's the estate, and it actually tells you how many other properties. This person owns 6 other properties. Okay, estimated value, total value of all her properties are pushing $1 million. Do you think she's an accredited investor? Probably. Okay, meaning she can invest in multifamily deals, which is what we care about. So, but also she may want to sell this Mulberry deal and invest the money that she gets, the profit she gets from it, into some deals. So that's usually what I'm looking for and what I'm doing. But you could actually reach out to her just to get this thing as a short-term rental, right? Okay. And so what I do is I call and I say, if I were you and you're trying to get listings, or you're an agent, you're trying to get listings, or you're an investor who's trying to like wholesale deals, it's the same. You have the same idea, the two of you. So I would call and I'd say, hey, if you can get the right price for your home, would you consider selling it? Now, remember, they don't live there. They don't have all the emotional attachment that you and I do about our primary home. Okay. Like this house here, it's not my primary home. If someone were to say, hey, how much if you could get the right price, would you consider selling that? I'm like, well, what's your price? Right? Like, because some people's motivation is different than yours. They may want to actually move there because they have a friend or family member that lives down the street. Listen, I've had clients of mine that wanted to buy a restaurant next to their restaurant, and they went from $600,000 offer all the way to 1.9, right? Over $1 million, almost $2 million, because the guy wouldn't sell, but we were making offers like crazy because he did not want this eyesore next to his restaurant. So don't assume that people won't sell to you, right? Or that people won't list with you. And the steps as a listing agent, what I did, and then we're going to go over this stuff in a couple of the boot camp programs I have. I don't share it with everybody on Zoom. I do it on a Zoom call, and it is for free, but I keep it somewhat private because people will call the person that we're talking to live and say, he's got you on YouTube or whatever. So I don't do that. I just do Zooms when I'm teaching listing calls. I do the Mighty Dial almost every weekday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. Actually 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I do the Mighty Dial and I go over scripts and stuff like that. So it's a lot of cool things that you guys can do. I hope this was helpful. Use Propstream, use my link. I'll put it in the description below, mightyrei.com. They give me a little kickback for sharing it, but I genuinely believe that Propstream is the best tool. There's other great tools, but this is the best tool. They're owned by Stewart Title. They get data that other companies aren't able to get. It's just so good. I would not recommend it if I didn't think it was the best. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
For more great content like this and your chance to win cash prizes each week live online, visit www.mightymikereid.com. That's www.mightymikereid.com. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite audio platform. Until next time, take care and live mighty.